Hi guys, Kevin here. Welcome back to TheBitsTribe. Today we are reviewing the Anker 737 power bank, aka the Powercore 24k. I'll explain why it derives to the 24k part, but this is Anker's answer into the premium travel certified high capacity power bank that offers 140 watt input and output charging. This is the battle game that Anker is going into. Anker is a notable brand when it comes to PC accessories, chargers and power bank. This is their answer to the premium power bank scene. Design wise is very simple and very minimal. It has this gunmetal finish with the Anker logo, glossy screen, and on the sides right here you have your texture grid from the left side, right side, up to the right side down to this tactile button right here, which is very nice and tactile. On the flat side right here is just flat, there's no texture surface right here, so you can actually put it upright and it does not just tumble down easily. It's weighted quite well, as you can see right here. So on the very top right here you are seeing the main USB-C port, secondary USB-C port and the USB-A port right here. If I press the button once and if I'm not input charging or output charging, you see simple screen information like a battery percentage. You can see your battery temperature, what is the health like, how many rounds has it been cycled from 0 to 100%, and what is the watt hours in terms of in and out right here, and your settings right here for power screen off. Now mind you, if you constantly use the power screen on, it will drain the battery more, and even the power screen is set to auto and is turned off. If you're not using the power bank for several days, the capacity actually drops a little bit, like few percents, because it's actually constantly monitoring the battery health and temperature. So in case there is some problem, it will trigger its overprotection limit and you're safe from any fire hazards. So here's another point of view with the two USB-C set to output charging. You can see the capacity and the time till the capacity hits 0% in this power bank right here. So the power bank in terms of size is measuring 156mm by 55mm by 50mm. Despite its compact look, it does feel dense and it has some weight to it. It weighs 622 grams right here. Now the power bank comes included with a soft carrying pouch right here, very typical for all power bank brands, and more importantly is this secret sauce right here. This cable right here is 60 cm, but see this magic word right here, it engraves max 140 watts right here. Now when I use my Z Power 2, I try to validate the cable. One good thing is Anker just underestimate itself or understate itself, because this cable right here do support 240 watts charging speed, and I use this cable on my loader and other power station setup. It does hit 220 watts easily with this cable, and the cable does not even feel that warm. So 140 watts right here is actually secretly 240 watts. And more importantly, if you're using it for data transfer, it does support speeds of USB 2.0, which is about 480 megabits per second data transfer speeds. Are you tired of overpaying Microsoft operating system or software licenses? Look no further than Softwarekeep. As a Microsoft certified partner, Softwarekeep sells only 100% genuine Microsoft license at affordable prices, backed with a full year 24/7 customer support. With over 100,000 customer feedback from various rating platforms such as Google Rating, ResellerRating.com, Trustpilot.com, and Review.io, Softwarekeep is the trusted source for your software needs. All purchases are safe and secure, and every product is approved to be on shelf by Microsoft. And if you're not sure how to buy the license on the site or have further questions, there's a customer support there to guide you every step of the way, even after you buy the license. And here's the best part, use discount code BTYT20 at the checkout and get a further 20% discount on your entire order. And remember, don't overpay for Microsoft software and operating system licenses. Visit Softwarekeep today to experience affordable and genuine Microsoft software that you deserve. On to performance of this power bank right here. It is using the typical 18650 cell. There's a total of 6 cells right here. Each cell is rated at 4000 mAh at 3.6 volts, making this entire power bank right here 24,000 mAh capacity, which translates to 86.4 watt hour package power bank right here, which is still within the flight, travel, aeroplane limit, so you're good to go. Now, since this is using the typical 18650 cell, so it's going to have 80% capacity once you hit 800 cycles. Now, cycles means how many times you charge from 0 to 100%. So 800 cycle, which translates to around 2.5 years. So after 2.5 years, from 100% capacity, you will feel that the final capacity is about 80%, which is fine in my opinion, uncomparable to LFP batteries in bigger power stations. You know, 18650 is the best when it comes to power density in terms of size and power. So after 2 years, you know, by then there's new technology, there's new wattage, there's new power delivery standards. Go replace them. For the next 2 years, you're good to go. It would last you a very long time. Now, if you're not certain with the mumbo jumbo numbers that I given you earlier, I'll just simplify it. Based on our test, if we are based on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, charging from 20% to 100%, this will give you around 4.8 times worth of charge. Now, if you are charging a single MacBook M2 Pro Apple Silicon from 20% to 100%, this power bank right here will give you an extra 1.3 times charge worth. Looking at the charging ports, both USB-C ports right here supports Power Delivery 3.1 standards, whereas the USB-A right here supports Qualcomm Quick Charge, though it's not specified whether it's 3.0 or 4.0. I can presume to be the latest version. Anker, please notify us. Now, the main USB-C 1 port located on the top right here promises 140 watts bi-directional input-output charging speeds. Based on my personal test, the input managed to reach 128 watts maximum despite different chargers, different setup, different solar input, and also power station configuration. 128 watts was the maximum, just shy of 12 watts to reach 140 watts. Not bad, still good in my opinion. Now, the good news is the output port of the main port right here promises a rated 140 watts output. It can deliver 151 watts. That is 11 watts more than the advertised rated speed right here. The good news also applies to the USB-C 2 port right here. It is rated for 140 watts output, but based on my test, it managed to hit 150 watts. That is 10 watts more than advertised. Very good start. The USB-A was a little bit tricky to push up to its maximum capacity. It always, oftentimes when it hits maximum, it likes to trip. But the good news is the port right here is rated for 18 watts output. I managed to stress test it to 19 watts. So extra 1 watts right here, which is fine in my opinion. I also tested multi-port charging to see its performance. If I'm using 2 of the USB-Cs, it's rated by Anker at 140 watts. I also managed to get at 140 watts using 2 MacBook Pros Apple Silicon. It's easy to trigger them because it's PD protocol. Now, if I'm using any one of the USB-C plus 1 USB-A is rated at 118 watts, I managed to get a little bit higher at 126 watts. Not too bad. Now, if I'm using all 3 ports, the 2 USB and 1 USB-A, is a maximum output rating of 140 watts. I got a little bit better at 142 watts. Now, the Anker power bank right here does support pass-through charging, meaning the main USB port as the charging input to the power bank right here, and from these 2 ports right here, output to your charging device right here. So maxing out 3 ports right here, I got a total of 120 watts in and 111 watts 2 ports out. That is when you max out all 3 ports right here. But if you're just going C to C, that means C input and C output, I managed to get an input wattage about 120 watts with 1 USB-C output at around 95 watts. That's the maximum I did with my PD trigger and load test. Not too bad for pass-through charging. So here's a summary. It's not fair to call this a power bank despite its size, its weight limit, and its capacity limit that is airplane travel friendly. I would actually call this a compact power station for few reasons. Number one, the market average for this size capacity around plus minus it, like for example the Shark Gig and other brands in the market right now, is only offering at 100 watts, whereas this one output at 140 watts, the extra 40 watts made a lot of difference, especially when you want to charge 2 MacBook Pros. You are not going to limit yourself to 40 to 50 watts. This one right here, you can go 60 watts to 70 watts easily to 2 MacBook Pros, M1 or M2 Pros, Apple Silicon. It's amazing right here. So yes, it does have a premium price tag. Yes, it's, you know, Anker, it's pricey, but it's worth every penny. And from my efficiency test, this one hits 91%, whereas the Sharkgate, if I calculate, is only 85%. That 5% margin right there is significant right there. So again, I'm using this for my camera work, my time-lapse work, my drone work, my gimbal work, and also Yumi and I, when we edit our IG photos, Lightroom photos, same day wedding edits, same day edits for corporate events, definitely you need to juice up 2 MacBook on the go. This is one to consider. If you're a powerhouse, definitely my recommendation to get it. So what's my take? Would I recommend it? Yes. Links to purchase can be found in the video description. Remember, like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what are the alternatives to this baby right here that I should reach out to the brand to and try to review, so you guys get more options to pick from. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.